Yeah, hopefully Neil's doing that for us.
Okay.
Was that all right, Neil? Were you able to do that? Oh, right.
Thanks.
We just wait till you start, otherwise it'll come in mid-sentence.
We're in Barbados, one.
Oh, right, good. Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, putting images into the site and the various ways in which we can do that. So what I'll do is I'll transfer it across to having a look at my site. Okay. So I'm just going to use the welcome page, which I don't normally use very much. So find it. There it is. Right.
It's small.
So if we just had a a blank sheet and we wanted to add an image, is it? It says I'm presenting to everyone.
I can see
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see
I can
it.
see it. Yeah,
I can see it.
Okay. Right. Yes. So I'm just using the blank welcome page. I think this if you want to include an image in one of the one of the pages you can create yourself, I think there are sort of three ways that you can do it. The first is to put it into the images section of the system. The second is to put it into your Google Drive. And the third is to use an image elsewhere on the internet. So if I'll just go through each of those. Oh, hang on. It's got somebody else coming in. Right. Yeah, so if we start off with including an image from the Google Drive, I think you can connect to the Google Drive. You get that as part of your Workspace account, or and so if I go into my in order to put an image there, you've got to put it in the Google Drive first. Now, it's not actually straightforward. Right, now I'm going to change tab, so I'm going to right, hang on, let's see if I can.
It hasn't put a picture yet.
Hang on, I have to go back to this. So this is what the Google Drive looks like, when you've got all sorts of stuff in there. I'm not quite sure whether your people.
I never used that.
Sorry. Okay.
That's all right. It's all right. I was talking to myself. Sorry.
Okay. Right. Fine. All right. So if you want to put an image into the Google Drive, it's quite easy to do. So you can just drag it across from anywhere on your system and just drop it into the Google Drive, and it takes a few seconds, but then there you just puts it in. I've just set up a separate directory called imaging and just drop these couple ones in there. Include that, you've got to take the link from the Google Drive and stick it into the system. So if you right click on there, you get this thing called Get Link, and it gives you the link and it says copy link. However, before you do it, you've got to change this restricted to anyone. Otherwise, when you put it in the thing, people look at it and you won't get it. Right. So if you just copy the link from this tab at the end, then and then put it somewhere, you know. What you need is the the reference that this thing here. Whoops. From here to there, because that's the ID. Now, in theory, Google says if you just take the whole link, you'll be able to reference it in the site, but it doesn't work. So you have to use something slightly different. Now, I put in instructions in the. I thought the easiest way to do is to put them in the release notes. So in the release notes for version 11.4, there is instructions on how to do this, because it's slightly complicated. But you have to use a slightly different link to actually get it in there. And it's detailed in there what to use. So let me just do that. So if we go back to the thing, I'll have to stop sharing and start sharing again. So you just click on here, which says insert image, and if you use the link that's in the release notes, it looks like this. It's so you.
To mute yourself.
No, that's not what it looks like at all. Hang on. Done it wrong. Sorry, I'll do it again.
While you're doing that, Chris, can anyone that's not speaking mute their microphone, because it's giving all kinds of weird bleeps and buzzes and coughs, coughs and splutters? It's the little icon on the black toolbar at the bottom that looks like a microphone. Click it and it turns red.
Right. Okay. So I've done the link there, which, as I say, it's you obviously can just get it off the release notes there, and then by clicking OK, it comes up blue initially, and if you go on the bottom corner, you can stretch it and make it the size you want it, just by clicking there. And if you need to change it thereafter, you just, in order to cover it blue again, you have to just click on it and slightly drag, and then it'll just.
Chris, I must have missed the preamble. Is this is an alternative to using the inbuilt image gallery? Is it?
Yes. Yes. Now, you obviously use images in the system. There is a restriction in the system of 10 meg file size. So if you've got a large one, which you can put into the Google Drive, and you can use it here if you want to. But at the moment, there's another reason for doing it at the moment, because in the current version, PNGs are not working in images. There's an issue on the latest version if you try and load a PNG file. So a way around it is to stick it into the Google Drive.
Can I quickly ask, Chris? You're saying about the image size. You're saying there's a limit of 10 meg. Let's say, I mean, this is probably round the bend, but let's say you had somebody with a super duper camera that had a 100 meg image. If you put that into Google Drive, which you presumably can, and then stick it into the system, does the system then take a long time to upload super large files?
I would think so. I don't know, but I imagine that probably there's some sort of restriction on Google Drive as well when you try and load it up there.
Right. Okay.
But
yeah, most people now are getting the old super fast broadband with silly speeds and bits and pieces, so it probably wouldn't take that long. I say most people, some people.
Yeah,
Yes.
there are some of us that I don't think will ever get it.
In theory,
Not in the middle of Anglesey.
In theory, where's Anglesey? Is that North Wales way?
Yes.
They're fibre in North Wales now.
Yeah, but not to us, because we're in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so
It would be nice.
Where did I use pixels? Well, I just put 250 in to start with. Yes, but as I put in the notes, I've suggested that we start off by putting it in as, because if you don't put anything in that box, it comes up as a dot. No, it comes up as naught. Yes. Well, this may be with the drive rather than you. That's one way, and it's a bit fiddly, but it works, and it's an alternative. The best way, I think, is probably to do images. And let me just go into images then, and as you can see, those the black ones are PNG. So that's the problem at the moment. If you load up a PNG, you get a black square. So that wouldn't do it. Right. So, and I put this image up of this seagull in here, and if you want to, you can use copy the file name or copy the tag. If you copy the tag, then you can just easily go into, welcome, there it is. And again, put the source in. No, I did that wrong then. Because I should have only taken the file name if I was taking the thing. So right, so there's the source. Now the thing to do here is there's two types of ways in which you put images in. If you put an image in which is called a relative image, a relative reference, then it will take it at the, as you can see there, images at out of an images directory, which is where you are. Which, if we're going to use the mobile site, then that won't pick up, because the mobile site's in a different domain. It won't pick up that image. So if you're using anything which is going to be cross, very much like group descriptions, then use the complete reference, which is HTTPS. In other words, include the domain name and the whole caboodle. Sort of rather than just sort of the shortcut, which is images slash. So so here I should be putting https:// U3AWeb.co.uk / oh, actually test system, yeah, test system / images there. So you've just got to put the whole thing in. I don't know what happens if you put in no dimensions in the. So if you bring it from images, it seems it works then again without putting the size in. But as Neil says, if we're going to move on to the mobile site a bit later on, we need, rather than size, we need to deal in percentages. But I'll come back to that a little later on. So come on. Oh, gone again. Right. Okay. So that's the second way of putting an image in. The third way is to pick it up from somewhere else on the internet. Now you've got to be very careful with this, is because if you're not in charge of the image, like you are with the Google Drive and also with the images section, somebody tomorrow could go and change it, and therefore you would be without an image. But if you're confident that the image you're going to take isn't going to have disappeared, then just an example here. Let's say. So if you want to take this picture here, which is sitting in somebody else's website, you can take it by, again, right click and copy image address.
Chris, are we still supposed to be looking at the seagull, or should we be looking at another screen now?
Have we gone some? Oh, sorry.
I've still got the seagull.
Yes, it's not doing that. Right, hang on. There we go. Sorry, thanks for that. You should have a village fete now. Have you all got a village fete?
Yes.
Good.
Lovely.
Well, whatever turns you on. Right. Okay. So if you want to use that picture in one of your pages, then a right click and a copy the image address. Now I'll have to go back again. There is a shortcut. Found it. Yes. Right. So again, take your source and the copy the image we've just copied, and I'll just put 250 in there just to give it. Oh. And there it is, but I'll make it a bit bigger. Deleted it.
I did discover, Chris, that when you try and grip images, when you're where you are at the moment, Sometimes just by swiping right to left doesn't grip them. But I then discovered that if you do it top left to bottom right or bottom right to top left, it will then grip them. You get your 4 tags around the outside.
And the blue colour.
And it turns blue. Yeah, it's really weird. If you just do a sort of a left to right swipe across the centre of it, it doesn't always grip the thing.
Yes.
It just seems odd.
Yes, I know. It works some of the time. So as I say, so there are your images in terms of you've now got them in there, and obviously you have to update the thing to actually make sure it stays there. So, are people want to move a bit on with these images, or do you want to go on with that, or do you want to talk about this a bit more in terms of positioning images? Or
Chris, how do you get this long image along the top? That's what I want to know.
okay.
Can you also do a bit on the positioning of the image in the web page?
Okay, right. I'll do the positioning first, then I'll come back to that, Sid, and then we'll talk about the thing. Right. Okay. So you've got various ways in which you can position. I'm just going to make this a bit smaller because it's too big. Right. So at the moment, it sort of defaults to go to the left. If you want it to go to the right, if you know, there's 2 ways of doing it. When you insert it, you can, which I didn't do, but I'll tell you what, I'll delete it and do it again.
You can always tell when a developer's going to do something, Chris. You nearly automatically went to tools and source.
I did nearly. Yes, you're right.
Because you like doing things in background in HTML.
That's great. So, okay. So this time, if you want to have it on the right-hand side rather than the left, then you go to advanced and you stick in float, where's it gone? It's gone. Float right, float colon right, and it will stand up, it'll go there.
Sorry, Chris, can you say that again? Did you say float colon right?
Yes, float colon, and then the colon symbol, and then right. So you.
Okay, thanks.
Now that means if I just get rid of the this one down below here. So if I now put in some text. It will drop above it. But if I put some text underneath it, it would wrap around it. So you can wrap your text there. And in the same way, if you want it to wrap the text, you want the picture on the left-hand side rather than the right, and with the text wrapped around it, I'm going to slightly cheat so here's this thing you've typed in float right. I'm just going to make it float left. And so now you can have it on the right and have the text coming around it that way. Now you can have it in the center as well, but that's a bit more complicated, and you have to put something around it, which, if you like, after the today, I'll send you everybody out the styling you use to put it in the, so you can have text either side, so it's put in the center of the but we'll do that. I'll do it separately. Now this doesn't look great because the text is right tight to the image. So what you can do is to put a margin round the image to make it sort of I have to go here again, back to this this back. So it goes in this same place we've just talked about, the styling, and you can put in padding colon. Say you want 10 pixels all the way around. You see now it's by putting, so I put in padding colon 20px or 10px. That puts 10 all the way around and gives it a sort of a gap. What else? You might want to put a border around the outside of the image to make it look better. Again, same sort of situation here. And this time you put in border, well, like this particular one, I just put a 5 pixel border in solid black round the outside. So it's border colon 5px space solid space black. Again, I'll put it in some notes afterwards. So rather than sort of you having to try and remember it. So so now it's added the border around it. But the problem again now, because I've added the border and I've got my padding, I've got up to the text again. So if you want to put something outside the border, you use margin. So so now if I go back again, put another one in, I can put margin. 10x. Oh, why didn't it do that? What's it done? Hey, there you something. Gone, isn't it? Didn't I put the margin in? Yeah, there we go. So basically the padding goes inside the border and the margin goes outside. So you can, so if we now we can now perhaps take away the padding. And now it's put the border around. Perhaps something nicer going round an image is to put a shadow rather than a border. And so you can put it, so this time you put box shadow around it. And again, I'll send you the notes. But so if I take the border bit out. You can, but the reason why I'm not doing it there is because so in theory you should be able to change it, but if you quite often it comes up blank, so it's not actually. Yes, yeah. So that's why I didn't do it that way, because to just so I put a shadow around over the thing. Now, of course, that's not, the other thing's not big enough now. The margin needs to be. Oh, you can make your images look better by adding shadows and such like, or borders or whatever. You can use the you can round off the images and take the sharp corners out and make them and you can decide what radius those are. So that's just just another way of presentation, really. Okay, is that people happy with that, or is? I know it's probably what I was putting in was a bit small and a bit difficult, but I'll send you all some notes about it anyway. But happy with the principles of it.
Yeah, with the notes, Chris, if you just sort of do a list of the various things that you can put in, so you've done border, you've done padding and what have you, and then you can mix and match as you like, because you said about giving them rounded edges and that I think that looks nice on a screen as well.
Yes, I think it does. Yes, it takes the sharpness away from it, doesn't it? It makes yeah.
Can I ask Chris about the text? When I've gone to sort of put a new image on our webpage, etc., I have to ring Brian because I've upset all the text that was around it and I end up with big gaps. Is there a code there that you can take off or add where you want, like a new paragraph? You would have a gap.
So if I want to put a new paragraph in here,
yes,
I can just obviously just return and then copy some text, and then paste it in.
Yeah. What if there's gaps there already? Can you just delete them? If there's too many gaps?
You mean, for instance, if it looked like that?
Yes.
Yes. Well, just backspace will get you out of that. You don't want to really fiddle around with the HTML unless you actually have to. I imagine that's putting, every time you hit return, it puts a BR in thing, which we can you can delete them in the tools section if you want to, but it's probably easy to just do backspace, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And obviously here you've got other things like you can change the font, change the size of the font. If you want it that small, you can obviously put headings in, and then you've got. So if we. So if you want to have a heading and you want it bold, and then you want it centered, you've got this here which you can just click on, and that'll center the text.
Can you use any of the fonts that are on that list, or are there only certain ones available?
As far as I know, they all work. Yeah, that's so. Convert this to symbol. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I think they're all okay. The default is, what's this? What's your standard one? Sans. What is it? DS Sans. DM.
Yeah, DMSANS.
Oh, right. Well, yes. So the system should default to that, and then of course if you change it, and the system will. And basically, this is all dealt with by TinyMCE rather than the actually. You know,
As a slight aside, by the way, I went to an East of England conference the other day, and the chairman of the Third Age Trust was there, and she asked for any questions, and I threw out whose bright idea was it to use DM Sans, which isn't a standard font in any computer that you can buy anywhere, and she went, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just made me laugh. I don't know.
There is one thing, Chris. If you've got a gap on your page there and you can't get rid of it, sometimes it's a problem with the image. The image has a border around it that you have to remove, and then the gap disappears.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You have to edit the image.
Okay, right. So I think,
just
you know,
on-
obviously you've got things like, you know, standard sort of text things like bullet lists and indents and things which are available on this top line here. Is that what people wanted to see? Is that, I mean, happy with that?
Yeah. The only bit to add to that was
Yeah.
when I asked Brian, he says, "Oh no, you should render the text within the web code, you know, which in the HTML." What on earth is he on about? Render the text.
I think he might be talking about if you picked it up from something like Word, you'll end up with an awful lot of stuff attached around the text.
Right.
Could that be just clearing out the text so you don't have lots of
Yes, he's told me that one.
yeah. So
I've got it
that's
instilled
what
in
we've
my
been
brain.
talking about then. Yes. Yeah.
What about these other little images here and here?
Hang on. Where are you?
Here.
Sorry. Where are you? Which
Is my pointer showing? There's like a
Yeah, that'll only be on your screen though, Sid. We won't be able to see that.
it's like
So which bit are you pointing at?
a pair of handcuffs next to the image thing. On either side of the image, there are two
He's
symbols there.
He's talking about the link one, Chris.
Yeah, the link. Yeah.
Oh, this.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one. And
Oh,
that
right.
one
Okay. Well, that's
on the right.
so. If you use that, let's just where we. I'll just pick this up a sec. You can put in basically a link to somewhere else, and either within the you add another URL, so you know you can just put put a link like that in,
Right.
and when you've updated it, you can click on it, and that will go to the same image. I've just put the image in that we had. That will go to that image on their website, as opposed to bringing the image and sticking it in your website. Or you can link to another page within the within this site. You know, you could link to your list of groups or something like that. So that's what that's for. That's
Right. Okay. Yeah, oh, I see. Target. Yeah. Yeah. New window. Right. Okay.
yeah. So so it's so if we accept that and then have a look at the welcome page. But, so here's the final page that we set up, and yes, if you click on it, it actually just goes and shows that image.
Yeah.
But we don't see that, Chris, because it doesn't. You're only sharing the one page. We're not seeing where it's gone. Ah, there you go.
Yeah. Right. Yes. So if I go back to here again. So right. Okay. I think that probably. Oh, so you want to look about using the top image of using this image here.
Yeah. Before you jump on, Chris, there is one weird thing within Tiny MCE that people need to be aware of. You can put all the bold and italic and various bits and pieces. If you want to put underline on, you have to go to format on the top line, and it says underline in there, which is weird. All the other formatting stuff is on little icons and that, but underline isn't.
Yeah, they don't like using underline, do they?
Oh, don't they?
Well, because it's sort of it implies a link, doesn't it?
But if I wanted to make the heading stand out, I would highlight heading and underline it because it's headed. But there you go. It's, you know, whatever. But if you want to put underline on, if you go to format, underline, now you deleted it.
Yeah, I have. Okay.
Yeah, don't type it again. Just press the arrow.
Oh, that back button.
Yeah,
I've never used that before.
we have now.
There we go.
Yeah. Who's teaching who here?
Look, there's a forward one as well. It's gone again. Yeah. Oh, clever stuff. Yes.
Yeah. But if you want to underline that, guys, you have to go to format and underline. Format on the top words.
Why don't I just go Control and U?
Well, you could do that as well if you like. This is a battle of who does what how, isn't it, really?
Yes. Right. Okay. So is everybody happy with sort of adding an image and sort of playing around with the text and
There's one thing I've been doing is building a table and using the columns to position the pictures. Is that over the top, or is it okay?
No. I was going to mention tables. Yeah, it's another way of being much more precise about having where you want images, text, by setting up a table, and you can have a little bit of text on the left, then a picture, and then the text on the right, can't you? And that's what you've been doing, is it, Dave?
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's certainly another way of achieving. Yeah, you don't get the wrapping with that because obviously they're in distinct cells.
Yeah, but it does, as I say, position the wording in between photographs and things like that.
That's right. Okay. Right. Okay, so images then. If you want to,
You were going to do the rolling picture at the top, Chris, for...
yes, that's where I am. That's where I'm at.
Right.
So if you're adding a new image, you've got all these options down the left-hand side, which you can use. The ones we've been talking about have been sort of standard ones. There are headers you put on top of, you can have on top of your email. So if you put one here and you add an image and then you click on that before you submit it, that will be the image that is used when you send out emails. But I think the one that we're talking about here is background header, isn't it? Silence. Yes. Yes. Oh, well, actually, so yeah. So down here, I've got several, which I've put as background image. So if you put one in, and you've got to be careful with the shape, you need to make it a long and thin shape, or else you end up with something which looks really odd. So you need to cut your image properly. But if you put one in, then you just get the solid, that picture all the time. But if you put lots in, that will make it move from one image to the next, and you can have multiple one, which is just this Salisbury Cathedral view.
Chris, before you go into the multiple, sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
When you go into the multiple, this size of the image across the top, I know you get it to fit, but what is the actual dimension you need to go across the top of the page? Does it vary with your particular? Because I had to do it by trial and error loads of times, moving it a little bit.
900, isn't it? 900 by, if you make it 900 by 100, I think that probably is probably a good place to start.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Because with this, this site is sort of fixed width. Because if we widen out the width of the of the tab, it doesn't get any wider. It just fits it in the middle of the thing. So yeah, I think it's 900.
973 by 134.
Well, but the 134, you can make it as high as you like, can't you?
Yeah, but 973 by 134 comes out as sort of the aspect looks correct between the up and the across.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you don't want it taking half the page. No. Right, is that right, Sid?
Yeah, thanks.
So add your image, 900 by 134. Oh no, sorry, what did you say? 9?
I keep turning my mic off. 937 by 134 is what I've got my set
So
at.
if you create an image that size and then choose the file there, click on the background image, and then submit new image, that will put that in, and it will come back and it will look like that with a sort of a cyan type of background, and we'll say background image if you've done it right.
And how do you get the rotating image again? Did you say?
You just add keep on adding them. If you put 2 in, it'll rotate one to the other.
Okay.
Chris, that's the wording on, you've got wording on some of them and not all of them. Presumably that's incorporated in the photo, is it?
Yes, it is. Yes. So the idea when I originally did it was I had 2 of each. So in actual fact, this one came up first, and then it sort of merged into the next one, and so Disney and District appeared, and then the next one comes up, and then after a couple of seconds, then the name of the U3A appeared.
Okay.
So that was the idea of doing this. So this one and that one's there twice. They're all there twice. But I'm not quite sure it doesn't. When I changed it, I don't think it does that anymore, does it? I can't remember.
What's the difference between a file name and an image tag?
The file name is the actual name of so it will say well, if you look at this here, it says images/image 00500 but JPEG, whatever it is. So that's the file name. And if you copy the file name, that's when you're going into, if I go back to welcome again, and we do an add image, you put the file name in there.
Yeah.
But if you were going to add the image tag, if you're in the source code and you did it, so let me see if I can identify the image tag here. Lost it for a moment. There it is. Yeah. So what's you can see this bit here. That's the image tag. So it's the whole tag. So it starts with this less than sign and says image and source equal, and then here's where it's finding the source of the image. Right. Then you've got the width, the height, and then the style that we put in as well. You know, like the floating left and the box shadow and the margin.
So it's a description of the image then, effectively.
So in effect, the image tag is actually a piece of HTML where the file name is just where it's located.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, it's not actually a description, Sid. If Chris would like to click on the add an image again, that's it, click on there. If you want to put an image description, you put it in the second box down, and that way, if for any reason your image doesn't display on a person's browser, and for blind people as well, if they're using screen readers, they will get a description of what the picture is.
I see, yeah. Okay.
We've got a couple of blind members. You think a lot of them are blind, but they're not all blind. We've got a couple of blind members that actually use screen readers, and we're now putting image descriptions in on all of them because one of them turned around and said, "I never know what the pictures are on the website." So if we put that in, they actually get, this is Salisbury Cathedral.
Oh. Thank you. Very interesting.
Right. Okay. So, shall we go on and have a look at the mobile site? And yes, why not? Yeah. Right. Let's get rid of this. And
I think the thing is, we're
Chris,
all on.
will you be coming back to PDFs?
Just say again. Sorry, missed that.
Will you be coming back to PDFs?
PDFs in terms of including them in these web pages. I mean, in here.
And getting links to them so they can come up like the application form and things like that?
Okay. Yep. Yes. Right. All right. Yeah, I'll come back in a few minutes to that then. Right. PDFs. Right. Okay. So if you switch, the mobile site now is available in your test systems, and once you've gone to 11.3, it is available there in the live system as well. What's being developed is the half a dozen of us had a few sessions to look to see what should and shouldn't be in the mobile site, and the idea was to try and keep it fairly straightforward, fairly easy for members to operate. So it doesn't have a lot of this functionality, and so when you set it up, you will find that you've got 4 new parameters which relate to the mobile site. The first one is use the mobile site, and you either sort of click it on, or you click on it to turn it. So that's mobile site turned on. It'll be naturally turned off. So if you want it, you have to go and turn on this. Hopefully somebody else will answer that. You've then got 2 home pages, which you can set up in any way you like. So they're different to the ordinary home pages because you probably want the text to look differently. But you can use the same thing as we've talked about this afternoon in terms of putting in images, putting in text, and that sort of thing. And then the fourth element here is a banner which you can have at the top of the site, which you can define again in the same way as we've talked about earlier on today. So that's once you've set that on and switched on the mobile site, it will come up and it will look like sorry, wrong one. Okay. I've gone into it directly rather than going through the system because I'm obviously on a screen or desktop, and therefore by default the system will go into the main system. Although you can have a link to get you into the mobile site from here, but if you're on a tablet or a mobile or a phone, it will by default go into that system. So if you're on a phone, then it will automatically give you the sort of hamburger menu. And these are the items shown. If you're on a tablet and it's a bit wider, you'll get the menu line at the top. And I don't know why I'm not getting the banner. Oh, I do know. Hang on. Right. So where we were just a minute, yeah. Except now I've just set up a very simple banner, but you can have anything you like in this banner here. You know, if you want to put a bit of color into it, because again, one of the principles we did was to make it essentially black and white, so that it's easier to see. So there's no sort of. But if you want to put a banner in, so be it. You've got it there. So these are the things you get in the. You get the group list, which is the same group list as is in your live system. It's just showing slightly different information, cut down information. So if we, and we'll squeeze down, if you have a phone, and then if you want to see it differently, you can have it sorted by group, ascending or descending. You can have it sorted by category, up or down, sorted by venue, or and you can also sort it by its current status. So actually what I am, I'm not logged in, so I will log in. So this is the login screen, very simple. And this is the home page that I've just set up for logged in. So there's not much there. But so we go back to the group list. So
that drill menu at the top is slightly different, or there's more items in it than the one I've been using. Do you have a way of putting more in the drop-down menu at the top?
No, no. There are the items are. Well, I was going to say fixed. They're not exactly fixed. For instance, if you don't use check my details in the main system, it won't show check my details.
Oh, I see, right, yeah.
So if you don't use the 7-day program, it looks at the menu that you're using in the main system and only puts them there if you choose to not to use it.
Right, yeah. It's our test system. Yeah. Okay.
So the group list gives you this, but also gives you the live status of you as a member. So you can join the group. You can apply to join the group. You can make your payment. You can join a waiting list from here, or if you actually go into the main site. So this is the. I'll go back to thin again. This is the group list. So you can see this test banner appears against all pages at the top here. Group details for chess for beginners. So again, it pretty much says the same as the live system, the full system, the wide system, but it obviously presents it in a more tab-like. A tablet-like or mobile phone method, really. Right, so you have your group list. You've got your monthly meetings. Again, if it's switched on, and shows the same as the main site. You still have these links to elsewhere. Your events information. Seven-day program. The message forum still here. That's not the admin one. That's the your site one. The newsletter will come up in here as well. If you've switched it on, check my details, my program. And then if you want to go across to the full, you can do that as well. So that's there. I don't know whether that's basically what hopefully the member is able to do, and so hopefully they'll use this if you switch it on. Questions?
You said that's the next one, is it 11.03? Because I'm obviously still on 11.02.
Right. So yes, so there's about 4 or 5 U3As at the moment on 11.3. I think all the rest are on 11.2. So whenever you want to go to 11.3, let me know and I'll upgrade it for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, fine, okay. So want to go back to PDFs, incorporating PDFs in the main site, yes?
Yes, please.
Right. I'm sorry. Oh. Oh, great. How to do what in particular? Right. Oh, into group pages or into any page? Yes. It's in essence, it's just that you, well, I always do it by using a, what's it called? Memory's gone.
URL?
No. Oh, God. Can't remember what it's called. It's the, it's, if you like, it's the site within a site, if you like, thing. I can't remember what it is, so I can't do it. So yeah, dear, yeah, mine's gone blank. Right, well, look, it's. Have I got one? Ah, right. Tell you what, I'll go and find one. That's the best way, isn't it? So what we're talking about is this, aren't we? Just being able to incorporate a PDF with all the PDF instructions around it. That's what you meant, was it?
Yes, that's right. But also, I found that if you did it under images, it brought up a full screen version of it.
Right. Yes.
But I couldn't work out how to do this one.
Right. So yes, you can certainly store them in images because they're all stored at the bottom, aren't they? Yes. And then you can just copy the file name and pop them across. So if you, I just can't remember what it was now. Oh dear, terrible. Hang on, I'll find out.
You don't mean frame, do you, Chris?
I do. Yes, I do. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. I lost it for the moment. iframe, isn't it? There we go. Right. So let's go.
Can you put your screen back to full size, Chris? We're still getting it in the mobile site size.
Are you?
Well, I am.
Oh, I see.
It's a very, very narrow page.
I think I shall close it down and I shall just do it again because I'm somewhat larger than that. Oh, I know why you're getting it there. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's go back to the so if you want to in the welcome page, if we put it at the top, I don't see why you can't just put the URL of it in, actually. Thinking about it. So let's go and get it. All right.
I couldn't work out what the URL was.
Ah, okay. Okay. Bottom here. Yeah.
I mean, in here, it's fine. That is, yeah. But on the one that you showed us just now, that wasn't a PDF within images. That was done somehow else.
Yes. No, that was the newsletter, which has got which is a preset sort of script. Yes. So so if you want to, no, we don't do that. Going to. No, I think you've got to put it through actually an iframe, haven't you? I think so. Yeah. So right, okay. So what I've done is sort of squeeze this into, because I haven't, it's set it to a default size, so I haven't made the width and the height, but here is a PDF inside there. So if I just go back into where we are.
This is pure guesswork, Chris. But
it's not.
No. What I'm going to say is pure guesswork. I know you're not working on guesswork, for goodness sake. This is pure guesswork, but surely, stop calling me Shirley. If you were to put in to view PDF, click here, okay, highlight the here, make it a link to the PDF, would that not, and then put it as open in new window, would that then not throw it up in the new tab?
Right, do that. What, you just put it in as an image?
No, put it in as, no, a link, not an image. Yeah, cancel that, Chris.
Okay, but if you put it in as a link, surely that just links you to somewhere else, doesn't it?
Right, type here. Or, no, not for the URL. Cancel that for a minute. Not mucking about. Cancel that frame. Cancel that pop-up. Right, type the word here so that we know what we're talking about. Or PDF here, or anything you like. Right, okay, highlight that word here. Okay. Now click on link. Now put in the URL of wherever the PDF is.
The URL or the image or the name?
No, the URL.
Okay.
Right, and now make target new or new window or whatever the dickens it says. That's it, new window. Okay. Save the brute. Go to your home page.
Well, welcome page, yeah.
Welcome page, yeah. And click on said link.
Yes, but that's different. That's right. Okay, that's one thing. That's pushing it out into. Yeah, whereas we're here, it's automatically displayed on this page.
Yes, yeah.
So you've got you've got options there really to actually show them inside the page or click off to somewhere else. Yes, okay. So,
thank you.
Having gone round and round in circles, was that clear?
I'll probably watch the recording.
As mud.
Okay. Right, okay. Now
we didn't actually see the link, which looked like, but you still get the option to print it out and things like that. People complaining with it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you didn't see the link. Hang on.
No.
Yeah. When you click on here, we don't see your new window.
No, sorry. Yes. No, you get all the controls at the top here. So, yeah, it should be okay. Right, okay. The other thing that the other thing I put down on the list here I was asked was to show really about configuring the side menu and the options that are in there. So, is anybody who's on the call wants to see that, or are people clear, or do they want to go through that?
I for one can do that.
Shall I just do that? Do you say yes? Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
I'd appreciate a look.
Right. Fine. Okay. So, if you want, everything's done from here, from this update side menu, and you've got this page here, which it's got, I don't know, 150 items in there, which you can either switch on or switch off. In fact, there's a third option. You've got show live, show draft, and not show. Not shown means the system just ignores it and you don't get any entry. If you put show draft in there, then that gives it to you as the administrator. So if you're trying to set something up, but you don't want anybody else to see it for the time being. You make it show draft until you're ready, and then you make it live when you're happy that the menu item works as you want it to. You've got the second element here, the sequence decides and what sequence this left-hand menu is displayed. So 0 at the top, I don't know, whatever you use, your high number, 3,401 is going to be at the bottom.
You can use 0, can you?
Yes, if you put 0, just puts it at the top.
Ah, yeah. Right. I've always gone from 1. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Yeah, they invented 0 some hundreds of years ago. Right.
Chris,
Yes.
on your menu, Chris, the first item on the side menu is yet another BBC link, but that actually comes down at item number 5 on the screen where you're doing the editing.
Yes, exactly. Because if you like, I'm somewhat indisciplined and I've put lots of zeros in. So if you really need to have, you know, the in the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, rather than having lots of the same number.
Right. So if you've got the same number, it'll just decide for itself.
Yes. There probably is a reason. A sequence, and the sequence is probably the sequence in which you originally put them in.
Right.
I would guess it's just the way it's held on the database. So
hence why I don't use 0, because everything defaults to 0.
Okay. Yeah, use 0 once. Right. Okay. So so you've got main menu items, and then you have sub menu items, and the sub menu items are dictated by this little grey thing on the left here. You click it, and it opens the sub menus. Now, the way in which you define a sub menu or a sub menu system is you use menu header. So you have your shown live, you have your sequence number, this is where you must have 0. You have 0 there, and then you have menu header. And then under that, using the same sequence number, the entries that fit in that submenu 1, 2, 4 are the items within that. If you have a different number there, it won't show them in that. So it has to be the same sequence number and the subsequence number in the sequence you want to see them. And so you've got extra page 7, 3, and 6 are being shown in this submenu. Is that all right? Right.
Yeah. The only thing I'd add to that, Chris, is where they use menu header for their top line. So in that case, latest newsletter, to define it, you go to the little blue I.
Yeah, I was coming to that. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
all right. Sorry.
That's fine. Okay. Right. Okay.
If you want to add one, you can select any one and put in the sequence and subsequence number, and it will sort itself out into the right order, won't it?
Yes. So if we want to now use yet another link and we want to put it at 3,000, type it in and update. Now, one thing, it won't take effect absolutely immediately. You just have to refresh again, because it always forms the menu before it does the processing, and therefore it doesn't know you've got to change it until after it's already done it. So so if we now look down the bottom, it's come down the bottom now. So yeah, as Alan says, in terms of the description, you don't have extra page 7 here. You have the story of Enigma, and you do that by typing in the menu name. There, the system will default to that name if you don't put anything in. You also have in this part here, the page, the heading that will come at the top of the page that you're using for this particular one, because it's one of the extra pages. You've got the.
Sorry, Chris.
Yep.
Chris.
Yep.
Can you just clarify? Because I found I'm doing something wrong. I think you just said it. How to? Well, on the system update thing, when we get all of those there, there's still things that say extra page 5, extra page 7. It hasn't actually got the name of what it is. So how did you say you changed that so that when you look at the system?
So if you put in here, if you type in the story of Enigma, if you like,
yeah.
in here in the menu name, and then update it, when you come back to extra page 7, you should find alongside it should be the text you've typed in, and that will then be the menu name.
Ah, right. Okay. I must have forgotten to do those. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And then you can then define things like in terms of the color, whether it's bold, shown bold, or bold, normal, or default. I'll come to default in a tick. Text size, text style, normal, italic, oblique. I'm never quite sure what the difference between italic and oblique is, but then you've got 4 sizes of text which you can use. So if we make this one 4. I don't know which one it was now. You can see groups by category is bigger than groups by vacancy because they've got different size text. So you don't have to go through and customize every single item in here. You can set the default values at the top here. You can set your background color, your border color, and all these items, and the system will, if you set them to default, which they come as default, then it will create these. Now there is a slight change between 11.2 and 11.3, which corrected an error which was caused by the default being seen as 0, and therefore if you had 0 in there, it was taking the default value, and now it takes the text size properly. So that means that there are slight differences. I think it's in the it's to do with the border color, I think, of your menu. So when you go for 11.2 to 11.3, you might just have to correct, or leave it as it is, but it's there.
Sid, can you turn your mic off, mate? It's
Sorry,
clunking about everywhere.
Right. Okay. Heading entries is basically the bits that go around the outside, which you can just again set as you want to. I haven't when I've set it up, I haven't set this icon up. I can see, so I'll have to put that in. Yeah, no, I haven't. Yeah. Right. Okay. So does that give? Is everybody happy with that?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Right. Okay. So we've done this sort of. Well, I think probably we're just coming to an end now. Anyway, what we want to do is to know: is this the type of thing we want to do? And if so, where do we want to go, and what do we want to do in future? Are we going to have another one in a month? And if so, what are we going to talk about? What do people want to?
Okay. Well, can I ask one thing, Chris?
Yeah.
When you went to shows the mobile settings, the 4 parameters.
Yes.
You put them at the top in a nice, easy to find way.
Yeah.
We find there's so many options there, and some things we don't use, like direct debits, etc. And you go searching for the ones that we use to learn how to tidy it up and put what we want at the top under the right heading.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something for another time, perhaps.
So you're talking about how to configure this bit.
Yeah.
So you want to get rid of some of these items.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You can unclick them.
Yes.
But how do you make what you want go to the top? Like you had mobile site at the top.
Okay. Oh, well, let's again. It's sequence numbers on this. So I just inserted again. I haven't done it with 0 and 0, but basically I just inserted a thing called mobile this afternoon by just clicking on the blue cross here and putting in the sequence number 0, and it came at the top. So there, right. Okay, so now I've got another one called called another entry, and if I just put the lock account dates in there or something like that. And that goes systems details. I haven't got the authority for it, so it's not come up. But
I don't think you clicked OK.
I didn't OK it. Oh, well done. All right, that's yeah. Well done. Thank you. Yeah. So it's
Right.
just like that. Alan, you can just put your items at the top there.
Right. Okay.
Is that all right? Was that too quick, or you got it?
No, that's okay.
Fine.
Just have to make sure I don't move out of the way all the things Brian wants to do, and it's not just the ones I want to do.
Well, you can set it. You can set it up to you can set his up and yours up separately.
All right.
And if you make yourself the if he's the I don't know what it is, or you're the web thing, you can say here are mine, and then here are his, and you can.
Is this the subject for another day?
Yes, why not? Okay, we'll have a.
You can just do a
Good idea.
Control F. You can search on that list. Do a Control F and find something. If you want to search for mobile, it will highlight all the mobile.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Configuring systems details.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what do you think? I mean, is it worth doing this regularly? And what do you want to talk about, really? And
it would be, from my point of view, we haven't looked at setting up the mobile version yet, so it would be worthwhile us having a little play and then perhaps going over that again another time.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, because you've got 2 items that you haven't done off of your original list, Chris, setting up a group and using direct debit user experiences.
Yes.
So you kick them on, kick that can down the road for next time.
Yeah. So, I suppose the first question is, yes, do people want to do this? Is this the way to do it? And is this valuable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very useful, Chris. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, right. So we'll set one up for the end of June, and please send me things that you think we should do. I think the direct debits one was much less to do with the system itself, and really basically find out the user experience, really.
Yeah, very good.
And so if people who possibly are thinking about direct debits, if people who use it, maybe you're a bit special, Alan, but because we've been using it for years.
Know that.
I'm special.
Yeah. There's something like Neil who's set it up and run it for 18 months within the system. Probably between you probably could come up with something which.
I was going to say, hang on, if he's been using it all that time, what does that make me special? Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh no, we got hundreds.
Yeah, exactly. You have so many problems. Yeah. Okay. Right. All right. So so we'll do that then. I'll send a general invite out again for towards the end of June, and we'll start off with these 4 things and take it from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, Chris. That was very helpful.
Yeah,
and I
very
look
good.
forward to the next one.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Cheers then.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.
Yes, bye.
Right.
Chris, before you go, are you still there? Are you still there, Christopher? God almighty, he was out like a dose of salts. Where's he gone? No, he's dead.